St. Croix play. Now, we are with you early tonight because tonight's game is part of Boyceville High School's annual day-long Coaches versus Cancer event. Now, the Vikings are coming off a 61-52 loss to the Spring Valley Cardinals last night, while the Bulldogs are coming off a 58-50 loss to the Elk Mound Mounders also last night. Now, coming up in this edition of Viking Pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Bulldogs and the Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Noel's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Following that, our broadcast crew will bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school boys basketball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? I'm high. Oh. No, you can't.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame, where we're getting ready to bring you all the action of tonight's Dunn-St. Croix Conference battle between the Boyceville Bulldogs, who are 9-10 overall and 2-8 in conference play, against the Colfax Vikings, who are currently sitting at 4-6 in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference and 9-9 overall. The Vikings are trying to find a way to get back in the winning column following their 61-52 defeat at the hands of Spring Valley Cardinals last night. Now, in that game, the Vikings battled hard and kept the game within reach, but the Cardinals just didn't miss their free throws. And the Vikings were led in scoring in that game by 6'4" senior Jack Charlo, who hit on 6 field goals, went 7 for 10 from the free throw line for 19 points. 5'9" junior Elijah Ensminger canned 6 field goals, including a three-pointer, and went 2 for 5 from the free throw line for 15 points. They were followed by 5'11" sophomore Aiden Fisher, who nailed 3 three-pointers and went 2 for 4 from the charity stripe for 11. So far on the season, leading the way in scoring for the Vikings is Charlo, who's averaging over 16.5 points per game. He's followed by Ensminger, who's putting up over 15.5, and Nick Jensen, who's chipping in nearly 8. Leading rebounders for the Vikings are Charlo, who's averaging right around 10 per game, and Jensen, who's pulling down around 6. Now, the Bulldogs come into tonight's game in 6th place in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference with a conference record of 2 wins and 8 losses, as well as 9-10 overall, following their 58-50 loss to the Elk Mound Mounders last night. Look for the Bulldogs to be led by 6' senior Simon Evenson, who's averaging right around 12 points per game, while 6'4" junior Grant Kaiser is putting up about 10.5 points per game, and 6' junior Devin Halama is scoring at nearly 10 points per game. Now on the boards, Halama and Kaiser lead the way, combining for around 14 rebounds per game. So far on the season, the Boyceville Bulldogs are scoring at a 58-point average while giving up 60 points per game. And the Vikings are averaging 55 points per game while allowing an average of 53. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get the coach's perspective as we chat with Viking head coach Mark Noel on Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2 are proud to announce that this spring they will be your viewing home for Eau Claire Cowboys football. Check out www.northernlightwebcastingnetwork.com for times and dates. That's Eau Claire Cowboy football on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, what they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Once again on Coach's Corner, we're talking with Viking boys head coach Mark Knoll. And Coach, last night the Vikings came out with aggressiveness and energy, even led the game with the Spring Valley Cardinals in the first half until the Cardinals went on an 8-0 run at the end of the first half before the Vikings finally fell 61-52. What can you tell us about that game?
Yeah, I mean, last night was a great high school game. I thought our boys came out with great intensity and focus, played hard. And then, like you kind of led to there right before halftime, we kind of just, some plays didn't go our way, and the ball bounced their way, and they scored 8 easy points, in my opinion. And we went into halftime, got regrouped, came out strong again, took the lead with, probably 4 or 5 minutes left. We had a 3-point lead. And but I give credit to them. They had one kid that made 5 threes that I think for the years made 12, and that was kind of the difference in the game. They made 10 threes, we made 5, and we made 10. We were 10 for 19 from a free throw line, and we missed some easy shots around the basket as well.
Yeah, and they basically didn't miss from the free throw line. I think they missed 2 or 3 free throws for the entire game, and that made a big difference too.
Sure. Yeah.
So one of the things that we've noticed now, the Vikings have dropped 5 games in a row, albeit you've really run a string of strong opponents. What do the Vikings need to do to turn things around?
Well, number one, and our boys are doing a great job of staying positive and staying resilient and keep working. Because that's what we got to do. We just got to keep believing in what we're doing and who we are. And yes, we've lost some tough games in the fact that they're against really good opponents, but we feel like we've been in every game except for really one game against Somerset. Otherwise, we've been in all the games. So we just got to keep working, just keep believing.
Now, one of the problems that the Vikings ran into, and you've talked about this in some past games, is that you only had 3 players score in the second half. Your comments about that situation?
Yeah, this is sometimes how it works. Yeah, sometimes I calls for certain kids to get the look, but we have certain plays that we run where everybody has to score and to make a play, and we just need everyone to step up. When their number's called, they've got to step up and make the shots when available.
Now, tonight, the Vikings face the Boyceville Bulldogs in the Dun St. Croix Conference matchup. What can you tell us about the Bulldogs?
They're a team that's probably similar to us, in the fact that they've played some good teams and their record is very similar to ours. I think they might be 10-10 or 9-10, somewhere in that range. We did beat them at home here, but they were missing their post player at that time, Kaiser. Kaiser will be back tonight, and he gives them a big kid. He's 6'5", he's a big body down there to try to guard. So, Big Farmer's going to have his hands full there against him, and and they've got some. Evenson is a nice scorer. Wold's a nice point guard for them. So, and they got some nice kids that come off the bench as well.
Now, this game is a makeup of the game originally scheduled for back on December 15th. Actually, kind of works out real nicely that it's falling in here. It's also part of Boyceville School's annual Coaches versus Cancer event. Can you tell us anything about that event?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, they asked us if we wanted to be a part of it, and I was able to ask Keith Knoll if he would, sponsor our team. And he bought our team and coaches a T-shirt that we will wear for warm-ups, and the coaches will wear the shirt during the game. And then it's just an event that they have ran over there at Boyceville, Coaches versus Cancer, to help raise money for cancer.
Well, Coach Knoll, good luck on tonight's game. Hopefully the Vikings can find a way to snap that losing streak and get back on the winning side of things.
Thank you very much. Go Vikings.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. The Vikings are looking to snap their current 5-game losing streak after their 61-52 loss to the Spring Valley Cardinals last night. Now, on the other hand, the Bulldogs would like to defeat the Vikings for the first time since February 3rd of 2017. Now, tonight's game is part of the annual Coaches versus Cancer event at the Boyceville High School, which is why we're coming to you early. So the stage is set for some exciting boys high school basketball, and we'll have all the action for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2. Now in just a moment, we'll send it out to Boyceville High School, where our broadcast crew is ready to bring you all the action of tonight's boys game between the Colfax Vikings and the Boyceville Bulldogs. That's all coming up next. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
Soon the weather will change and you'll be able to breathe in the clean fresh air of spring. And you know what comes right along with that. That's right, it will be time for Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball. Follow the Cavaliers all season long right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and NLWN TV. Be sure to check out our website at www.northernlightwebcastingnetwork.com for our current broadcast schedule. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame with a look at today's Colfax Viking Boys game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2. Stay tuned, coming up next is live Colfax Viking basketball. It happens to everyone eventually, your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Sladen's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Sladen's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Sladen's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Sladen's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Colfax Viking basketball is on the air.
Vikings steal the pass. This is Charlo driving down the left side of the lane, puts it up. It goes in and he draws the hard.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2 proudly present today's Colfax Viking Boys varsity basketball game.
Down to Jensen and on the right baseline, puts it up and in. This is what you were talking about a couple days ago, Dan. Jensen's got to put those shots up, and he's doing it.
Join us as we head out to the gym for today's Viking basketball.
Good evening and welcome to Boyceville High School, where the Colfax Vikings are set to play a makeup game from back earlier before Christmas that is finally coming about tonight. The Colfax Vikings are coming in with off a 5-game losing streak that they hope to break tonight. And the Boyceville Bulldogs are 2-8 on the season, on the Dunn St. Croix Conference, placing 6th. They are 9-10 on the year. The Vikings are 4-6, and they are 5th in the Dunn St. Croix with a record of 9-9. Tonight's Colfax High School basketball game is brought to you by the Colfax Animal Hospital. Let Dr. Buckley and his friendly staff take care of your pet. Dairy State Bank, where they're banking on relationships. Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for the Chippewa Valley. Anderson Bridges, who have been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. Slayton's Technology, IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Comfort food, the way Mom used to make it. And Fit Fam Nutrition of Colfax, with drinks that taste as good as their names sound, plus they're healthy. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2. I'm Jay Fall here with Dan Petshaw, Chris Olson, our videographer. Glad you joined us tonight. Stay tuned. Dunn St. Croix Boys Basketball action coming your way after this.
If you have a high-deductible health plan, opening a health savings account at Dairy State Bank will allow you to save tax-free dollars to pay for a long list of health-related services allowed by the IRS. Dairy State Bank HSAs are serviced locally and work like a regular checking account. You can use a debit card or check to pay for expenses and access your account through online or mobile banking. Visit DairyStateBank.com to learn more about HSAs and online or mobile banking. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Join us at the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV for exciting Colfax High School girls basketball. Our next game will be on Monday, February 13th, when the Vikings will host the Fall Creek Crickets. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN TV begins with Viking pregame at 6:50 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking girls basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV on Monday, February 13th.
Are your animals feeling a little under the weather? Give the nice folks at Colfax Animal Hospital a call. Bruce Buckley is just what the doctor ordered. In fact, he is the doctor, and he's ready to help. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Give them a call at 715-962-3380.
Welcome back to Colfax. The last time the Colfax boys won was a few weeks ago, Friday, January 20th, when they beat Glenwood City 65-52. Since then, they've dropped games to Osceola 53-48, Grand Arkansas 69-58, Somerset 77-52, and Spring Valley last night 61-52. Taking a look at some of the team stats for the Vikings. The Vikings have been shooting about 41% from the floor, while their opponents have been about the same. As far as rebounds go, the Vikings have slightly rebounded their opponents by a margin of 29-27. Individual leaders for the Vikings as far as scoring, Jack Charlo is the leading scorer with almost 17 points a game. Elijah Ensminger behind him at almost 16 a game. And then Nick Jensen with close to 8 points a game. Charlo is the leading rebounder with almost 10 rebounds a game. Nick Jensen is at 6 rebounds a game, and Elijah Ensminger about 4 rebounds a game. As far as the Boyceville Bulldogs, their overall season mark is, their record is 9-10. Their last win was on Tuesday, January 4th against Clayton. 59-51 victory. They just edged Oliva Strum the night before, 75-74. Since then, losses to Grand Arkansas 67-46, Spring Valley 68-44, and Elk Mound 58-50. As far as the Bulldogs, their opponents have outscored them by a mark of 1,129 points to 1,089 points. As far as shooting from the field, the Boyceville shoots about 38% from the field compared to 40% for their opponents. Rebounds, Bulldogs almost 34 rebounds a game, while their opponents 26. Leading scorers for the Bulldogs are Simon Evenson at almost 12 points a game, Grant Kaiser at about 10 points a game, and Devin Halama just shy of 10 points a game are Boyceville's leading scorers. Kaiser and Halama are the leading rebounders at 6.8 rebounds a game, and Chase Hollister is the third place rebounder on the Boyceville squad with 5.5 rebounds a game. Special night tonight here at Boyceville. They have Coaches for Cancer going on. Lots of fundraising activities to try to beat that awful disease of cancer, and both teams are dressed up in Coaches for Cancer t-shirts. All the game personnel as bringing emphasis to that event, and we will not have a Viking post-game show tonight as Boyceville has a girls game with Glenwood City scheduled for 7 o'clock right in here, so we'll wrap it up and go, and we look forward to bringing you a good one. You're watching Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
Join us at NLWN2 for exciting Colfax High School Boys Basketball.
This is what we came here for.
Our next game will be on Monday, February 13th, when the Vikings travel to Amory, Wisconsin to take on the Amory Warriors. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN2 begins with Viking pregame at 6:35 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on NLWN2 on Monday, February 13th.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2 are proud to announce that this spring they will be your viewing home for Eau Claire Cowboys football. Check out www.northernlightwebcastingnetwork.com for times and dates. That's Eau Claire Cowboy football on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
And we will go courtside now for the introductions.
Boyceville High School and Colfax High School require good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators at education-based interscholastic events. Request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, sexist, or ethnic comments, or other intimidating or taunting actions or chants will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the site of competition. Please enjoy the game in a positive manner. And now, to honor America and those defending our freedom, we ask those who are able to please stand, remove your hats, and place your hand over your heart for the singing of the national anthem. The national anthem tonight will be sung by Amy Radman.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets wrecked the land, the bombs bursting in air, came through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome to tonight's St. Croix Conference matchup between the Colfax Vikings and your hometown Boyceville Bulldogs. And now our starting lineups, beginning with the visitors from Colfax. Number 10, junior Elijah Ensminger. Number 12, senior Jack Charlau. Number 23, junior Blake Johnson. Number 24, senior Kyle Irwin. And number 42, senior Nick Jensen. The Vikings are coached by Martin All and assisted by Tristan Kittleson and Nick Height. And now, the starting lineup for your Boyceville Bulldogs. Number 2, senior Simon Evenson. Number 4, junior Nick Olsen. Number 10, junior Caden Wall. Number 40, senior Mason Bell. And number 32, junior Grant Kaiser. The Dogs are coached by Cody Dowsett and James Peterson.
Starting lineup introductions completed.
Thank you for joining us for our Coaches versus Cancer event tonight. Please note we'll have the beanbag toss in between the varsity games so you can get a beanbag out in the commons area.
So the Vikings are in home red, or road red, trimmed in white. They'll be moving right to left as we look on, opposite the scorer's table here in Boyceville. Ball goes up and Charlo tips it back. Ensminger's going to go back to get it. And Ensminger out to Johnson. Back to Ensminger. Driving in, Ensminger looks at one from the corner of the lane, gets it inside to Jensen. Back outside, Blake Johnson. Johnson around the rim and out. Ensminger trying to get the rebound, and the ball went off of one of the Bulldogs, so Colfax keeps it on their end. Inbounds pass goes into Jensen to Johnson. Give and go to Ensminger. Ensminger, corner of the lane, up. Shot falls short, rebounded by Nick Olsen of the Bulldogs. Olsen in the center to Caden Wold. Wold back up on top to Evenson. Evenson's going to try to go up the middle. Ball gets tipped up. Evenson will get it back. He'll fire it down to Wold. Ensminger holding tight to him. Back off on the opposite side to Olsen. Olsen to Wold. Wold, top of the key. Shot bounces off, and Charlo rebounds it for Colfax. Charlo quickly up the floor. Gives it to Ensminger. Ensminger out to Irwin. Irwin to Johnson. And Jensen up from the lane, missed, rebounded by Caden Wold. Boyceville brings it up the floor. It is Wold. He'll flip it off on the left side to Mason Bowell. And Bowell will go in, misses the layup. Charlo all the way to the other end. Down to Johnson. He'll get it back to Ensminger. Ensminger up from the baseline, doesn't fall. Rebounded by Evenson. Evenson down in the near corner to Nick Olsen. Olsen dribbling around the rainbow. Colfax man-to-man defense. Pass goes out in the far corner to Bowell. Bowell Still looking, will go to Nick Olson. Olson down underneath to Kaiser, puts it in on the left side for the first score of the ball game. It is 2-0 Boyceville, 15 and a half minutes to go first half. Irwin, give and go to Johnson. Johnson will fire it off in the corner to Charlo. And Charlo blocked underneath by Mason Bowell of the Bulldogs.
Foul on Bowell, his first, team first.
So Kyle Irwin, wearing number 24 tonight, is going to throw it in. Irwin into Charlo. Charlo up, rolls off, and rebounded by the Bulldogs' Grant Kaiser. Evenson into Bowell. Bowell gets it back from Olson. Bowell looking underneath. Colfax has things jammed up pretty good, but going forward with a layup is Nick Olson, and the Bulldogs lead 4-0 at 14:45 to go in the first half. Out on the far side, it goes to Ensminger. Ensminger to Johnson. Johnson dribbles up to the top of the key. Irwin will go down in the far corner. Charlo will take it and put it up on the left side, and he's fouled on the way up. Jack will go to the free throw line.
Foul on Kaiser, his first, team second.
So Jack Charlo to shoot for the Vikings. That is the second team foul on Boyceville. And Charlo's shot doesn't go in. Charlo up, and it's rebounded by Bovey. Or Bowell, sorry, Mason Bowell. Simon Evenson, three-point land, drains it. Boyceville up 7-0. Colfax yet to get on the board here. Irwin across the B in the center of the court. Out to Ensminger. Ensminger pops up from the free throw line. That's good. 7-2 Boyceville. Nick Olson out of the backcourt. Olson from the corner drives it into the middle now. Along the right side of the lane, throws it right back into the hands of Jack Charlo at Colfax. Charlo taking it to the other end, turns backwards. That one's stolen by Remhild. And we have a couple of Bulldogs on the floor. Simon Evenson comes up with it from Bowell. Down in the near corner, Nick Olson. Olson out to Johnson. And Johnson had the ball tipped away from him by the Bulldogs, so Colfax will keep it. Seven to 2 Boyceville. Okay. And shot popped up by Ensminger. Doesn't go, and there's a scurry for it underneath the basket. It's going to be a jump ball, and that's going to be possession, Boyceville. 13-12 going in the first half. We'll try to give that to you often, as it's difficult to read that on the screen. Simon Evenson tosses over to Devin Halama now into the ball game for Boyceville. Braden Remhild will move it down on the right side, and he is fouled as he goes down by Mitch Medine.
Foul on Medine.
That is the first foul on Colfax as well as Medine. Braden Remhild's going to throw it in. Remhild into Evenson. Evenson driving, stops. Bounces it inside to Halama. Halama turns around, up, doesn't go. Flying in there to get the rebound, Colton up, and he's called for a foul.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle down there for Colton Hoffman and it's going to be a battle down there with Colton Hoffman and number 22, Devin Halama.
Medine, give and go to Ensminger. Fires it out to Hoffman. Hoffman will drive in, ball tapped away. He's got to go back to get it. Gets it to Ensminger up high on the near side. Ensminger will drive in, and he's called for carrying. 12:24 to go, first half, 7-2, Boyceville. Throw-in goes to Wold, then back to Evenson. Evenson driving up from 8, good.
Five points for Evenson tonight.
Medine gives the ball to Ensminger. Ensminger out to Hoffman. Hoffman, free throw line right. Goes out to Medine. Give and go to Fisher. Fisher at the free throw line, sings it over to Hoffman. Hoffman's going to drive into the lane, back out to Fisher. Fisher from the free throw line. And we will have a foul called on Hoffman. Boyceville comes up the floor with it. 11 and a half minutes to go, first half. Bulldogs lead 9-2. Simon Evenson fires a pass out to Wold. Wold, three-pointer, doesn't go. Rebounded by Halama. Halama and others end up on the floor. What's the call down there? Jump ball. That one will go to Colfax. 11:18 to go, first half. It's 9-2, Boyceville. Jay Fall, Dan Petchow, and Chris Olson with you from Boyceville. This is the only Dunn St. Croix boys game on the schedule tonight. Ensminger dribbling up top, drives to the left side, goes up, and a blocking foul is going to be called on Boyceville's Simon Evenson.
Yes, Simon wants to call, but
Foul on Evenson. His first
he kind of just hit Ensminger from the side, so that'll be a block every time.
Ensminger to the line.
So Elijah Ensminger on the free throw line for the Vikings. First one up and in. Eau Claire has a new semi-pro football team. The Eau Claire Cowboys and NLWN2, along with the Northern Light Webcasting Network, are excited to be your broadcast home. Follow the Eau Claire Cowboys throughout the 2023 season on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2. Ensminger with the second free throw. Makes that one, pulls the Vikings to within 5. It's 9-4 Boyceville. Coming up on 11 minutes to go in the first half. Up on top to Evenson. Remhild, Evenson up top on the left side.
Kicked out, but it's tipped by Colfax, so it'll be Boyceville ball. Evenson will throw it in for Boyceville. Coming in for the Bulldogs will be Nick Olson. Olson with the ball. Hands it off to Evenson. Down in the corner to Olson. Guarded by Mitch Medine. Up top. Ball tipped by Ensminger, and it's off Boyceville. Colfax ball. Fisher with the ball at the top of the key. Takes a look, hands it off to Medina on the right-hand side. He takes it to the top, kicks it out to Ensminger on the left. To the free throw line, and goes Ensminger up, and he's fouled. So Ensminger will go to the line for 2. Fouls on Simon Evenson, his second. 15 foul for Boyceville. Medina will throw it in underneath. Gets it into Jensen on the baseline. Ball's tipped. Picked up by Boyceville. Here comes Caden Wold. Top of the key. Kicks it out to Lama. Back to Wold. And he walked with it. Colfax ball. 9:45 left in the first half. Ensminger to throw it in. Gives it off to Medina. Medina takes a look on the right-hand side. Kicks it out top to Nick Jensen for 3. And it's just off. Picked up by Halama. Left-hand side to Wold. Skip pass to Kaiser. Kaiser over to Olsen. Olsen on the right-hand side. Takes a look. Gets cut off by Medina. Back to the top to Wold over to Halama. Halama's guarded by Fisher. Over to Olsen. Inside goes Olsen and is up and good. Nick Olsen with 4 points tonight. Ball comes into Fisher. Brings it across half court. Guarded by Halama. Hands it off to Ensminger. Ensminger looking to drive. It's blocked by Kaiser. Picked up by Boyceville. And quickly down the court comes Boyceville. Takes a look, kicks it out to Halama on the right. No good. Picked up by Kaiser, goes. It's no good, and it gets tipped out of bounds by Colfax. 11-4, Boyceville. 8:31 left in the first half. Olsen to throw it in for Boyceville. Gets it off to Halama, who drives down the paint. It's up and good. Devin Halama with 2 points tonight. 13-4, Boyceville. Irwin kicks out to Nick for 3-3. Good. Nick Jensen with shot from downtown. 13-7. Olsen with the ball. Kicks the right-hand side to Wold. Left-hand side to Bowell. Bowell drives it, kicks it out to Olsen. Over to Wold for 3. A little short. And it's off Nick Jensen's foot. So Nick Olsen will throw it in for Boyceville. Kicks it out to Halama. Cut off by Blake Johnson. Left-hand side to Bowell. Bowell tries to drive the paint, gets up, no good. Picked off by Charlo. Quickly down comes Charlo. Charlo gets bumped, and it comes up a little short. So here comes Caden Wold for Boyceville. He hands it off to Nick Olsen. Boyceville wants to run a play. Kicks it out to Wold. Wold drives, but he's cut off by Nick, and then Nick lets him go. Blocked by Charlo, but picked up by Kaiser. And we got a timeout by Colfax. 30-second timeout. 7:02 left in the first half. It's 15-7 Boyceville. We'll be right back. You're watching Northern Light Webcasting Network and Viking NLWN 2 and Viking TV.
To get your lawn or garden to perform like you want, you first need to know about your soil. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for the Chippewa Valley.
Welcome back to Boyceville. Colfax with the ball. Coming off the timeout, it's Kyle Irwin. Fires it off to Fisher. Fisher to Irwin. Irwin driving up from 14. Good. 15-9 Boyceville. 6:40 to go, first half. Bulldogs up at the floor. That's Nick Olson. Olson takes it from right to the middle. Back up to Wold. Wold, one-handed pass out to Bowell. And three-point land shot by Olson. No good. Rebounded by Charlo. Vikings with another chance to close the gap. It's Irwin. Irwin again up from the lane. That falls short. Jensen got one hand on it, and then it slipped out of bounds. Boyceville ball back, 6:07 left first half. 15-9, Boyceville leading Colfax. Colfax sticking with a man-to-man as Nick Olson dribbles it up the floor for Boyceville. Back up on top to Kaiser. Kaiser hands it off to Halama. Halama goes up on off the glass, puts it in, and is fouled by Blake Johnson. He'll get an extra free throw.
Yeah, good move there by Halama on the baseline to get that little spin move and get the and one. Halama's got 4 points.
5:48 left first half, 17-9. Boyceville leading Colfax. Devin Halama's a 6-foot junior for the Bulldogs. And the second one goes in, or the free throw goes in. Pardon my voice, bug has set in, and the worst place it can be for a play-by-play announcer is in his throat. And Swinger up on the top of the key. Aiden Fisher. Fisher out to Irwin. Irwin down underneath. Charlo turning around up in. 18-11, Boyceville leads Colfax, 5:19 to go first half. Nick Olson ends up at Wold, then Halama. Halama's going to drive in left side. What a block by Charlo. That had such power, even Irwin couldn't stay on his feet. Olson to throw it in. Olson looks, tosses it out to Halama in the middle of Braden Remhild. Bowell from Remhild back out, free throw line right to Olson. Back to Olson. Olson trying to direct things underneath. Out to Remhild. Bulldogs staying out on top. Now they go down to Halama down in the far corner. Up to Olson.
Good battle down there with Nick Jensen.
And stolen away by Colfax. That was Aiden Fisher, and he's tripped up on the way down.
Foul on Olson, his first, team sixth.
That foul's going to be on Nick Olson. 6th foul for the Bulldogs, so the next foul will put the Vikings in the bonus. Irwin to Ensminger. Directs him up a little bit, moves to the free throw line extended. One-handed pass out to Fisher. Fisher out on top, goes to Irwin. Irwin inside to Jensen. Jensen hook shot, good. Colfax closing in. 4 minutes to go, first half. Boyceville 18, Colfax 13. Nick Olson hands it off to Braden Remhild. Remhild to Wold. Wold back to Remhild. To Bowell. Back down in the corner to Olson. Outside for three. Wold drains it. 3:28 to go in the first. 21-13. Boyceville. Out on the side it goes to Fisher. Fisher for three. Nick Olson. Out the center, fires to Wold. Wold to Bowell. Back to Nick Olson. Then to Bowell. Remhild comes to help him out, takes it to the other side, back to Olson. Olson in the lane, fires it off to Bowell. Bowell back to Olson, comes to the near side to help him out. On the baseline, goes up, and the foul's going to be charged to Kyle Irwin. That is Irwin's first foul and the fourth foul on the Vikings. That puts Nick Olson, a 5'8" junior guard, on the line for Boyceville. And the first one missed. The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV are excited to once again be your home for Eau Claire Cavalier baseball. Follow the Cavaliers throughout the 2023 season on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV.
Shot goes up by Olson, and it's good. 22-16, 2:45 left in the first half. Here comes Colfax. Kyler Irwin with the ball. Right side to Ensminger. Picked by Jensen. Jensen for three, and it's good. Nick Jensen from downtown again. 8 points for Nick Jensen. Here comes Boyceville. Left-hand side goes up. No foul. And I do believe we have a foul on Boyceville.
Foul on Wielden, Pittsburgh's team 7.
Fouls on 21. Peter Wielden, his first foul. 7th team foul for Colfax. So that'll put Charlotte at the line for the 1-on-1. .219 left in the first half. First shot up, and it's off. Picked up by Kaiser for Boyceville. Hands it off to Wold. Wold brings it across. Right side to Phillips. Phillips goes top of the key. Hands it off to Halama on left. Back to Phillips. Boyceville wants to run a play. Pass it off to Wold. Wold goes top of the copy to Halama. Back to Wold. Over to Halama. Halama looks, gets it right-hand side to Phillips. Trying to go inside to Kaiser. Out to Phillips for three, and he hit it. Good ball movement by Boyceville. 25-19. Boyceville, 1:25 left in the first half. Here's Ensminger with the ball. Gets it in the paint, it goes up, no good. Picked up by Jensen. Kicks it out there, Irwin. Irwin gives a little head fake, nothing there. They're gonna run a play. Screened by Charlotte, but done well by Boyceville. Into Jensen. Jensen gets fouled. Foul's gonna be on Peter Wilden, his second foul. So that puts Nick Jensen to the line for the 1-on-1. Nick Jensen. First one's up, and it's good. Second shot's up, and it's good. 10 points for Jensen. And we got a timeout by Boyceville. 30-second timeout. We'll be right back. 56 seconds left in the first half. 25-21 Boyceville.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings.
There are only 20 rebounds left, so
56 seconds left in the first half. 25-21 Boyceville. Nick Olson will throw in the ball. Colfax goes full court press. Into Kaiser. Kaiser takes a look. Got to get across. Nick Olson gets it inside. Cut off out to Wold. Left-hand side to Phillips. Phillips brings it to the top of the key. Kicks it out left to Caden Wold. They're going to try to go inside to Kaiser. We got an offensive foul. Foul's going to be on 23, Jack Phillips. Or did it go out of bounds? No, it was a foul. 26-second left, first half. Here comes Ensmeyer, kicks out to Fisher for three. It's long, picked up by Charlo. Battle for it on the floor, picked up by Charlo. But it goes out of bounds. And they got to talk about it. It's Boyceville ball. 12.9 seconds left in the first half. 25-21 Boyceville. Full court press again by Colfax. Into Wold. To Olson, who gets trapped. We got to jump off. And it'll be Colfax ball. Good trap there by Kyler Irwin and Nick Jensen. We got something. Or something just at the scorer's table. Okay. So Nick Olson will throw the ball for Boyceville. 8.5 seconds left in the first half. Olson trying to get it in, gets it into Wold. Wold finds a seam, kicks it out to Phillips for three. And it's no good. Picked up by Charlo. It was kicked out by Wold, but the clock ran out. That's the end of the first half. 25-21 Boyceville. You're watching Northern Light Broadcasting Network and NLWN 2.
not too many of them left for that drawing.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
Time now for Viking Halftime, with today's Viking profile and other halftime entertainment. That's coming up right after this.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're going to talk with Ben Charlo, who's a sophomore here at Colfax High School. And Ben, we know that you play basketball, but what are some other things that you're involved with here at school?
Basketball is mostly the main thing. I don't do much other than that.
Okay, it's pretty much basketball. Okay, so when did you start playing basketball, and what kind of an experience has it been for you?
So I started younger, in probably like 3rd, 4th grade. Then I only played 7th grade in middle school, and then I picked it up last year and this year. And I think it's helped me with my work ethic, hard working, my brain skills, getting like faster, just in general.
Especially being able to think on your feet.
Yeah, that too.
Okay, so when you're not playing basketball or you're not here at school, what are some other things that interest you or keep you occupied?
I hunt and fish a lot. I'll be just usually hunting all year round. I try to work on hunting, working on land.
Whatever's in season?
Yeah, whatever's in season, getting ready for the season.
Okay, a few rapid fire questions for you. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Ice cream or pie?
Ice cream, or how about a piece of pie with ice cream on top?
That would be good, yeah.
2 for 1 there.
Yeah.
All right. Your favorite color and why?
Orange is pretty nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's one of those hunting colors, right?
Yeah, that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you could have a superpower, what do you think that might be?
Flying or strength, I guess.
A strong flyer.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So now if you have the ability to be super strong and fly, kind of like Superman was, you know, if you had that ability, what do you think Ben Charlo's superhero name might be?
You know, I thought about this earlier because I heard the questions before, but I'm not sure. I haven't figured it out.
Okay. All right. He's that guy with no name.
Yeah.
But look up in the air. All right. You have a favorite NBA team?
The Bucks.
How about a collegiate team?
No, I don't have one. I'm not sure.
Okay, that's fine. Is there a basketball player in your past at any level who's affected the way you play your game?
Yeah, my brother, George Charlo. He's really affected my game. I look up to him a lot.
Okay, we're talking with Ben Charlo today on Viking Profile. And Ben, what are your plans for after high school?
Probably go to work or go get some degree in college for like some trade job. Maybe go for apprenticeship or something.
How about a shout out to the family?
My mom, my dad, George, Jack, Rachel, the whole family.
The whole family, all right. So when people come to watch Viking games, what number do you wear and what position do you play?
I'm number 22, and I guess I'm a post, and I think I'm mostly just post, whatever coach wants me to play.
And that's the most important part, whatever the coach wants you to play, right?
Yep.
Okay. So we want to thank Ben Charlo for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next, more Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
ZWX.
you're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular.
Jason, let's go see your room.
That's not right. How was it? Is it good?
You've been tuned to Viking Halftime. Stay tuned. Coming up is second half action of today's game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. You tell me to stay rooted. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? The kind to hug or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter what you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to Boyceville. Halftime score, Boyceville 25, Colfax 21. And we have Boyceville youth dancers entertaining us here at halftime. (25-21) the score. Okay. All right. You're watching Colfax Vikings Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
On those days when you're hankering for something that's delicious and nutritious, simply stop by FitFam Nutrition in Colfax. They serve Herbalife meal replacement shakes, metabolism boosting teas and protein coffees. They taste as good as they sound, and they're healthy. Come and visit the Bentons and let them prepare for you a simply sweet treat, or something for the chocoholic or coffee lover in you. FitFam is a slam dunk. That's FitFam Nutrition, complete with one-on-one wellness coaching and business opportunities. 1020 University Avenue in Colfax.
Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax has just what you need when you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it. Mom's is open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily and until 9 on Fridays with a complete breakfast menu. Lunch includes sandwiches, salads, wraps, and burgers, along with Mom's comfort food favorites, and don't forget dinner on Fridays with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee always hot, the breakfast always delicious, and lunch puts a smile on your face. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax.
25-21, Boyceville leading Colfax at halftime. Dan, how did we get there?
Yeah, here's the scores right now for the Boyceville Bulldogs. They're led by three guys right now. Simon Evenson, Nick Olson, and Devin Halama both have 5 points. We have Grant Kaiser with 4. We have Jack Phillips with 3, and Caden Wool with 3. For the Colfax Vikings, they are led by number 42, Nick Johnson. He has 10 points, followed by Ensminger with 4. We have Aiden Fisher with 3, Kyler Irwin with 2, and Jack Charlo with 2. We had 2 halftime intermission shows by the kids, so we'll go to break. We'll be right back. You're watching Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
Are your pooch's proportions putting on pounds? Or is your kitty's constitution constantly complaining? Well, stop by and see the friendly folks at the Colfax Animal Hospital. Dr. Bruce Buckley and his staff will be happy to help you get your family friend back on the road to healthy living. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Call them at 715-962-3380.
If you have a high-deductible health plan, opening a health savings account at Dairy State Bank will allow you to save tax-free dollars to pay for a long list of health-related services allowed by the IRS. Dairy State Bank HSAs are serviced locally and work like a regular checking account. You can use a debit card or check to pay for expenses and access your account through online or mobile banking. Visit DairyStateBank.com to learn more about HSAs and online or mobile banking. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
If you've been admiring the freshly groomed look of a baseball field, or the stunning appearance of a golf course, remember you too can have a lawn with the same beauty by simply calling Midwest Environmental Consultants. Their professional lawn care experts can bring your lawn to its full beauty and appearance. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your lawn the showplace of the neighborhood.
Welcome back. Halftime, 25-21. Boyceville leads Colfax. We invite you to join us for more Colfax Viking High School basketball action next week. These games are on Monday night. That's when the boys are in action again. They travel to Amory to take on the Warriors in a non-conference game. That's a makeup game from earlier. And the girls, the boys will be on NLWN 2. And the girls will be on NLWN TV as they will host the Fall Creek Crickets. In both of those contests, Viking pregame gets underway at about 6:50. Well, no, the girls' game it's 6:50 pregame. 7:15 tip for the boys at 6:35 pregame, and a 7 o'clock tip. Vikings back on the floor for the second half. Jay Fall, Dan Petchow, and Chris Olson with you from Boyceville. And we're going to give this a try again. This is how I can be an athlete. I'll fight through it. So, inbounds throw goes into Irwin to start the second half. Vikings now moving left to right as you look on. Charlo will drive hard to the left side of the lane, out to Ensminger, three-pointer. Good. Vikings pulled to within one, 25-24. Nick Olson with the ball for Boyceville. Olson goes to Wold, back down on the left side to Evenson. Evenson looking for somewhere in, goes into Kaiser, and the struggle for the ball. That is going to be a foul charge to Colfax's. Oh, that's going to be on Kaiser of Boyceville. That's his second. Vikings bring it up the floor. It's to Charlo. Charlo out to Ensminger to Jensen, back to Charlo, free throw line right. Out to Jensen up, or that is Johnson up high. Johnson into Charlo. Charlo trying to turn around underneath, puts it up short, and rebounded by Kaiser. Olson will bring it up for Boyceville. Olson out to Wold, down to Evenson. Evenson from the corner, in for two. 27-24, 16:33 to go, second half. Give and go out to Ensminger. Ensminger inside to Jensen. Jensen off the glass, over the top. Scurry for the rebound, picked up by Nick Olson. Olson give and go to Wold, back to Olson. Baseline layup off the glass and good. Boyceville 29, Colfax 24, 16:05 to go, second half. Ensminger down along the side, tosses it back out to Irwin. Ensminger down inside to Jensen. Out in the near corner to Johnson. Johnson for three. Bounces off, ball's tipped, but still gets to Mason Bowell for the Bulldogs. Wold out to Evenson. Evenson drives in, gives it to Kaiser. Good for two. 15 and a half minutes to go, second half. Boyceville by 7 over Colfax. Driving in, it's Irwin, and the shot by Charlo is blocked. And
I think we have a foul.
That's going to go on Charlo. That's his first. Nick Olson gets the inbounds pass for the Bulldogs. Olson to Wold. And we'll have a foul away from the ball.
Foul on Johnson, his second.
Foul is going to be on Blake Johnson. His second, as well as Colfax's second foul of the second half. Inbounds, trying to get that ball is Ensminger, and he got tangled up. So that's Elijah Ensminger's first foul. Third foul as a team for Colfax. Approaching 15 minutes remaining in the second half. Bounced into Wold. Wold into the backcourt, being guarded by Ensminger. Wold out to Olson. Olson back from Kaiser, trying to get it back into him. Ball gets loose. On the end line, it was touched by Colfax. Boyceville will get it back. Nope, Colfax, sorry.
Colfax comes in with the ball, gives it to Kyle Irwin. 31-24, Boyceville. Irwin gets screened by Jensen, kicks out to Charlo. Right side to Blake Johnson. Johnson looks to drive, cut off. Top of the key, left side to Ensminger. Screened by Jensen again. Ensminger takes a look, nobody there. Top of the key to Irwin. Kick out to Johnson for three, long, but picked up by Charlo. We got a foul on Boyceville. It was a push on number 30, Mason Bowell. That's his second foul. Second team foul on Boyceville. So Kyle Irwin will throw in the ball. Takes a look, got to get it in. Has to kick it out to Fisher. Fisher takes a look, guarded closely and stolen by Simon Evenson, but picked off by Fisher. Back to Irwin. Colfax are going to settle it down. Screen by Jensen, Irwin with the ball. Kick out, and we got a foul on Boyceville. Foul's going to be on Nick Olson, number 4. With a hold. That's his second foul. Third team foul. Irwin to throw on the ball. Throws it over Fisher's head, and it's out of bounds. Goes back to Boyceville. 13:59 left in the second half. 31-24, Boyceville. Evenson to throw on the ball. Full court press by Colfax. Here comes Evenson across half court, guarded by Fisher. Evenson gets it to Wold on the left-hand side. Kicks it right side to Nick Olson, tipped away by Kyle Irwin and goes out of bounds. It'll be Boyceville ball. Ensminger back in for Irwin. No, Medine comes in for Irwin. Everybody getting set here. Nick Jensen is down low already with Wielden under the hoop. Kicks it out to Evenson for three, and he hit it. Simon Evenson from downtown. He has 10 points. 34-24, Boyceville. Ensminger with the ball on the left-hand side. Dribbles inside, gets it to Charlo. It's up, no good. Picked up by Boyceville. Right-hand side comes Olson. Guarded by Medine. Kicks it out top to Evenson, who says settle it down. Guarded by Fisher. Takes a look. Trying to get inside. Ball is off his knee. Picked up by Colfax. Out to Medine. Medine brings it across the. And we got a timeout. by Colfax. 12:46 left in the second half. 34-24 Colfax. You're watching Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN 2.
Join us at NLWN 2 for exciting Colfax High School boys basketball.
This is what we came in for.
Our next game will be on Monday, February 13th, when the Vikings travel to Amory, Wisconsin to take on the Amory Warriors. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN2 begins with Viking pregame at 6:35 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on NLWN2 on Monday, February 13th.
You can also watch the Colfax girls on Monday night. They'll be hosting Fall Creek. Viking pregame at 6:50, tip-off at 7:15. Colfax with the ball, Ensminger going to throw it in. Nick Olson in front of him to stop that. Ensminger into Jensen up top, and Ensminger goes back and puts it up from where he got it, falls short. Jensen right up on the rebound, miss. Jensen again, reload, good. 12.5 minutes to go, second half. Colfax 26, Boyceville 34. Bulldogs with the ball. Olson in the middle to Wold. Wold drives, lets it loose to Evenson on the left side. Evenson is fouled. He is going to get a three-point basket and a free throw.
Fouls on number 4, Nate Fisher.
That foul is going to be on Aiden Fisher, his first. Aiden Fisher. Oh. Simon Evenson just hit a three and also gets a free throw. Shot up, missed, rebounded by Charlo. Charlo will flip it out to Fisher. Fisher holds it on top, gets it back to Charlo. Charlo's going to drive in, and he is going to get a foul. Or Simon let's see. Foul is going to be on Peter Wielden. And I'm not sure what he did. Evenson stops at who, me? Anyway, goes to the side, Medine. Medine alley-oops into Charlo, knocked away by Evenson. Takes it to the other end. Player control foul. So that is going to be charged to Simon Evenson. That's his third. Boyceville has 5 fouls in the second half. Colfax has 4. Ensminger, free throw line left, dribbles around up to the top of the key, gives it to Jensen. Jensen, 3-ball, good. 37-29, Boyceville, 11:48 to go, second half.
Jensen has 15.
Wold to Evenson, stolen away by Fisher. Fisher will take it out of the backcourt, fires it in the corner to Medine. Medine driving around, dumps it back to Jensen. Jensen off the glass, miss. Ball gets loose, rebounded by Wold of Boyceville. Evenson back and forth with Halama on the near side. Up on top, Evenson. Evenson passes it over to Wold. Wold out to Evenson. Evenson drives in, dumps it off on the free throw line right to Remhild. Back out to Wold. Wold for 3. Bounces around, no. Ball gets loose. Rebounded by Fisher. Fisher out to Jensen. Jensen down in the corner to Ensminger. Ensminger around the rainbow. Ensminger down to Fisher. Back to Fisher, left open. He'll drive in, fire it to Jensen. Jensen will go up, over the top, missed. Reload in for Aiden Fisher. 37-31 Boyceville, 10:18 to go in the second half. And Boyceville wants a timeout. You're watching Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
Join us at NLWN2 for exciting Colfax High School Boys Basketball.
This is what we came in for.
Our next game will be on Monday, February 13th, when the Vikings travel to Amory, Wisconsin to take on the Amory Warriors. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN2 begins with Viking pregame at 6:35 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on NLWN2 on Monday, February 13th. The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2 are proud to announce that this spring they will be your viewing home for Eau Claire Cowboys football. Check out www.northernlightwebcastingnetwork.com for times and dates. That's Eau Claire Cowboy football on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
Welcome back, 10:17 to go, second half, 37-31. Boyceville leads Colfax and Dunn St. Croix basketball. 5th and 6th place teams squaring off. Boyceville to get the ball back after the timeout. It's going to be Nick Olson into Caden Wold. Back to Olson. Olson drives the left side of the lane. Gets a pass out to Evenson. Evenson back to Wold. Or Olson. Then now to Wold. Wold trying to drive between two Vikings. Gets a pass to Olson. Puts it up. Rebounded by Charlo. Ensminger up top. Ensminger between the jump circle and the key. Drives to the left side. Stops, looks to go up, goes forward. Ball goes out of bounds. It's going to go to Colfax, however. Ensminger to throw it in for the Vikings. Ensminger looking into Charlo. Charlo back to Ensminger in the corner. Ensminger brings it on top now. As he looks at Medine, who gets a pass out to Fisher, who barely saves it. He's called for traveling. 9:16 left, second half, 37-31, Boyceville. Into Wold, back out to Olson. Olson guarded by Fisher of the Vikings. Ball gets loose, tipped around, scuffle for it, goes out of bounds off Boyceville. Colfax gets it back. Colfax out of the backcourt with it. That's Ensminger. Fires to Charlo to Jensen. Jensen out to Ensminger. Down to the baseline. Charlo. Pass stolen by Olson of the Bulldogs. Olson brings it up for Boyceville. Olson halfway down to Halama. Halama doubled up. Ball goes out of bounds, but Boyceville keeps it. (37-31), Boyceville leading Colfax. Into Wold. Wold to Evenson. Stops at the corner of the lane, sings it out to Bowell. Bowell back out to Evenson. Back to Bowell. Bowell driving in. (8:18 left, second half. Jay Fall, Dan Petchow, Chris Olson with you from Boyceville. Medine across the 10-second line, fires it to Charlo. Charlo to Jensen over on the far side, back to Charlo. Charlo down underneath, going to go up, and shot is missed, but he's fouled on the way up. That's going to be charged to Grant Kaiser. Nope, check that. Mason Powell. Third foul, sixth foul for Boyceville as a team. On the free throw line, Jack Charlo for Colfax. First free throw missed. Charlo to get a second. Goes up and in. Colfax cuts Boyceville's lead to 5. Nick Olson up top. Olson to Evenson. Big screen by Kaiser. Kaiser gets the pass back and puts in the layup. Medine in the middle for Colfax. Fires it off to Fisher. Fisher out to Charlo. Charlo to Ensminger. Ensminger from the corner. No good. Rebounded by Kaiser. Kaiser to Evenson to bring it up the floor. Evenson keeping it out top on the right wing. Fires a pass off in the corner to Nick Olson. He looks at one, drives in, stops in the lane, goes up, missed, and rebounded by Jensen. And then Jensen is fouled, it looks like. That is Boyceville's 7th foul, so Nick Jensen's going to go to the line for 1 and 1.
His third, team 7. Jensen to the line for 1 and 1.
Jensen's first shot, good.
Nick Jensen's 3 for 3 from the line tonight.
Jensen looks at the second one, puts it up and in. Colfax back to within 5, 39-34 Boyceville, 6:55 to go in the second half. Evenson down to Olson. Back out on top to Wold. Wold is going to be fouled, and it looks like he's having trouble getting up.
Foul on Ensminger, his second, team 5.
So that is Elijah Ensminger's second foul. The 5th for Colfax in this half. Nick Olson to throw it in. Olson to Wold. Wold up to Evenson. Evenson up. Rolls off, no good. Kaiser with the rebound, up back to Olson. Olson free throw line right, will pull it back. Now he'll loop around. Looking for an opportunity underneath. Fires a pass to Bowell. Bowell driving for a layup, makes it. 41-34 Boyceville, 6:10 to go, second half. Big inbounds pass to Jensen, then back to Medine. Medine to Ensminger, or Medine fires it down to Fisher now. Fisher, wide open shot to the basket, makes the layup. And Colfax takes a timeout, 5:50 to go, second half. Boyceville 41, Colfax 36. You're watching Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN 2.
Soon the weather will change and you'll be able to breathe in the clean fresh air of spring. And you know what comes right along with that. That's right, it will be time for Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball. Follow the Cavaliers all season long right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and NLWN TV. Be sure to check out our website at www.northernlightwebcastingnetwork.com for our current broadcast schedule.
Back here at Boyceville High School. 41-36 left in the game, 5:50 left. Little jump around here at the Boyceville Bulldogs here tonight. Boyceville get the ball underneath Colfax basket. Evenson to throw it in. Ball comes in to Olsen. Slowly brings it across half court. Kicks it off right to Caden Wold. Guarded by Ensminger. Inside to Kaiser. Kicks it out to Nick Olsen for three, and he hit it for three. Nick Olsen with 10 points. Here comes Medine for Colfax. Takes a look, guarded there tightly by Olsen. Ensminger with the ball now. He's guarded by Caden Wold. Tries to get a screen from Charlo. A little backdoor, nothing there. Little fake by Jensen. He's up, and it's good. One. Nick Jensen with the little head fake. Got Kaiser up. That'll be Kaiser's third foul. 8-team foul for Colfax, or for Boyceville. Colfax has 6 fouls. So Nick Jensen for the and one. And it's good. Ball comes in Evenson, down the court quick, and Wold steps on the out of bounds. So Colfax will get the ball right back. 44-37. Boyceville, 4:57 left in the game. Comes in Ensminger. They're gonna go ISO on Ensminger, but he falls. Ball stolen by Wold. Picked up by Evenson. Right side, back to Evenson. Left side to Olsen. Takes it to the top of the key. Right side to Evenson. Looks to drive. Cut off by Jensen. Kick out to Evenson. Gets it to Caden Wold on the right side. He's guarded by Ensminger. In the ball, and it's blocked or tipped by Shaw, but picked up by Boyceville. Inside to Caden Wold, up, and it's good. Caden Wold with 5 points. 46-37. 3:59 left. Ensminger with the ball. Hands it off to Medine. Pass off to Fisher, looks to drive, kicks it to Charlo. Shoots a little jumper, no good. Picked up by Kaiser. Here comes Boyceville. Guarded by Medine. Ball tipped, but picked up by Boyceville. Left side to Nick Olsen. Nick looks to drive, cut off by Charlo. Picked up by Kaiser, no good. Picked up by Boyceville, into Kaiser again. Kick out to Evenson. Nothing there. Over to Olsen for three, and he hit it. Nick Olsen for three, and we got a timeout. 3:07 left in the game, 49-37. Boyceville. We'll be right back. You're watching Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN 2.
STEM is everywhere. Like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead.
When we break down clothes, we tumble it with trisodium phosphate, rock salt, and dish detergent.
We stitched together images of our model and created a 3D set that can be walked through in a VR headset.
We're able to turn 12 walkers into 1,000 walker hordes.
STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. What will you make with STEM? Get inspired at shecanstem.com.
Welcome back to Boyceville. 3:07 remains in the ball game. 49-39. Boyceville has the lead over Colfax.
We got a whole pile of people coming in there.
Yeah.
There is another game right after ours. And that is, who's coming here tonight?
Glenwood City for the Boyceville girls.
So, yeah,
big event for Coaches versus Cancer, too. So all kinds of stuff going on here in Boyceville. Inbounds throw goes into Medine. Medine takes it up the center, drives the right side of the lane, and gives it to Jensen. Jensen going in, pops it out to Ensminger for three. Bounces off, no good. Loose ball by Charlo. Charlo out to Medine. Medine, three-pointer. Rolls off, no good. And we've got a big tie up there. It's going to be jump ball. Possession, Boyceville. No. They're going to charge a foul too. Ensminger. And that is the seventh foul, so we're going to shoot free throws. Grant Kaiser for 1-1. .241 left second half. 49-39, Boyceville.
.50-39. One more for Kaiser. It's up and it's good. Ball comes into Medine. 51-39 Boyceville. 2:35 left. Into Fisher. Nice pass over to Jensen, and he missed it. On the floor goes Jensen. And they got to talk about it, and it's going to be Colfax ball. Subs coming in. Palama comes in for Mason Ball. .225 left. 51-39 Boyceville. Kicks it out to Medine. Medine's looking to shoot. Nothing. Three-pointer for Jensen. And it's off. Picked up by Halama. Quickly down the court comes Bold. To Kaiser. It's up and it's good. Grant Kaiser having a good night. Here comes Ensminger, and we got a foul on Kaiser. That'll be Kaiser's fourth, I do believe. It is. So Ensminger will go to the line. 9 fouls on Boyceville. So still 1-1. And he makes it. One more for Ensminger. It's up and it's good. We got a timeout. Full timeout for Colfax. You're watching Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN 2.
Soon the weather will change and you'll be able to breathe in the clean fresh air of spring. And you know what comes right along with that. That's right, it will be time for Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball. Follow the Cavaliers all season long right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and NLWN TV. Be sure to check out our website at www.northernlightwebcastingnetwork.com for our current broadcast schedule.
Join us at the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV for exciting Colfax High School girls basketball. Our next game will be on Monday, February 13th, when the Vikings will host the Fall Creek Crickets. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN TV begins with Viking pregame at 6:50 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking girls basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV on Monday, February 13th.
.202 left in the second half. 53-41 Boyceville. Nick Olson to take it out for Boyceville, guarded by Charlo. Colfax goes full court press. Gets it into Lima on the left-hand side, quickly up the court. We got a block by Mitch Medine. That'd be the 8th foul on Colfax. So Halama will go to the line for the 1-and-1. Both teams being physical in the second half. First shot's up and good. His second shot, it's up and good. Devin Halama with 7 points tonight. Gets it into Medine. Medine across half court, gives it to Ensminger. Screen by Jensen to Ensminger, it's up and good. Ensminger with 11 points. Ball goes out of bounds. We got a timeout on the court. We'll be right back. You're watching Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN 2.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzz and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So, yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Tonight's Colfax High School basketball game is brought to you by the Colfax Animal Hospital. Let Dr. Buckley and his friendly staff take care of your pet. Dairy State Bank, where they're banking on relationships. Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for the Chippewa Valley. Anderson Bridges, who have been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. Slayton's Technology, IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Mom's Restaurant, Pub in Colfax. Comfort food the way Mom used to make it. And Fit Fam Nutrition of Colfax, with drinks that taste as good as their names sound, plus they're healthy. We hope that you will thank these sponsors by paying them a visit and doing some business with them soon. 1:41 left in the ball game. Boyceville with the ball. The inbounds throw goes to Caden Wold. Stolen by Jensen. Jensen puts it up. That's stolen back by Wold. And on the way, he is fouled, I think, by Ensminger. Yep. So that's a 9-team fouls apiece. That is the 4th foul on Ensminger. So Caden Wold on the line for 1-and-1. We will not have a post-game show tonight. There is a girls' game, Boyceville versus Glenwood City. That will start right after this. So first free throw is good. So we'll run down the scoring and a quick summary and say goodnight and hope that you'll join us Monday for the boys at Amory here on NLWN 2 and the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Both free throws good. 1.5 minutes to go in the ball game. And Swinger dribbling, and now the foul is going to be called on Nick Olson. That is the 10th foul for the Bulldogs. That foul is called on Boyceville's Nick Olson. That is his 4th and the 10th foul for Boyceville. And Swinger's first shot up and in. When our broadcast is done, you can tune in and watch the girls on NLWN TV tonight. They're hosting Elmwood Plum City. Free throw is good. Inbounds throw goes into Halama, then to Kaiser. Back to Halama, right along the sidelines, back out to Olson. Olson to Wold. Wold out to Phillips. Phillips is grabbed by Mitch Medine to stop the clock. Next girls game following that will be Monday night. Lady Vikes host Fall Creek Crickets. 6:50 for Viking pregame. Play-by-play action after that. That's on NLWN TV. First free throw for Jack Phillips, a 5'7" senior, is good. 58-45, Boyceville leading Colfax. 1:15 to go. Second one is good. Enswinger in the backcourt. Enswinger out to Jensen. Fires it out in the far corner to Fisher. Fisher layup good. Stretched a bit for that one.
9 points for Fisher. What do we got, a foul?
And we've got play stopped here for some reason. The officials are talking. Mark Knowles wondering what's going on, too.
They're talking to him. Kind of talking to Halama. Something at the...
I think they're going to reset the game clock back.
Oh, okay.
58.3. Olson gets it in to Halama. Then up the floor to Phillips. Back out to Nick Olson. Olson down to the far corner to Halama. Halama dishes it back up to Phillips. And a foul is going to be called on Mitch Medine. That is his 3rd. That's going to send Boyceville to the line. And it is Jack Phillips again. First shot up and in.
He's 3 for 3 from the line tonight.
Viking boys have another non-conference game Monday night. You'll see it right here. Second free throw good against the Amory Warriors. From Amory. Medine out of the backcourt for Colfax. Medine bounces it inside. Layup good by Fisher. Timeout called by Colfax. 34.6 seconds left. Second half, 61-49 Boyceville. You're watching Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN 2.
Join us at NLWN2 for exciting Colfax High School Boys Basketball.
This is what we came here for!
Our next game will be on Monday, February 13th, when the Vikings travel to Amory, Wisconsin to take on the Amory Warriors. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN2 begins with Viking pregame at 6:35 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on NLWN2 on Monday, February 13th. Soon the weather will change and you'll be able to breathe in the clean fresh air of spring. And you know what comes right along with that. That's right, it will be time for Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball. Follow the Cavaliers all season long right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and NLWN TV. Be sure to check out our website at www.northernlightwebcastingnetwork.com for our current broadcast schedule.
Welcome back to Boyceville. 34 seconds remaining in tonight's game. Boyceville to throw it inbounds. It's Nick Olson into Caden Wold, up the floor to Jack Phillips. Ball knocked out of bounds. It's staying with Boyceville. Boyceville with the ball, 30 seconds to go. And we have a timeout called by the Bulldogs. We'll take another break. 61-49 Boyceville with 30 seconds left in the game. You're watching Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2.
Join us at NLWN2 for exciting Colfax High School Boys Basketball.
This is what we came here for.
Our next game will be on Monday, February 13th when the Vikings travel to Amory, Wisconsin to take on the Amory Warriors. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN2 begins with Viking pregame at 6:35 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on NLWN2 on Monday, February 13th.
Join us at the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV for exciting Colfax High School girls basketball. Our next game will be on Monday, February 13th, when the Vikings will host the Fall Creek Crickets. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN TV begins with Viking pregame at 6:50 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking girls basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV on Monday, February 13th.
30 seconds left in the second half. 61-49 Boyceville. Boyceville's going to throw it in. Guarded by Fisher. Got in by Caden Wold. Colfax looking to foul. And they do. Let's see if they get Fisher and Sminger. Foul's going to be at Fisher. 25.8 left. 61-49. Puts Caden Wold to the line. We'll have a very short post game. There's another game coming in right after us. Glenwood City's here in town. It's Cancer versus, or Coaches versus Cancer night. I bet there's probably 600 people here. Second shot, no good. Here comes Colfax. Fisher with the ball, 20 seconds left. See if they run a play. Gets it to Medine for three. Just off. Fought on the floor by Colfax and Halama. And we got a jump ball. It'll be Boyceville ball. 9.6 seconds left. Second half. 61-49 Boyceville. Colfax boys will be on the road next Monday at Amory. So we'll see you over there. Boyceville throwing the ball, gets it into Kaiser, who's guarded by Jensen. 6 seconds left, gets it to the top of the key, and Phillips will hold it, and that'll be your ball game. 61-49, Boyceville Bulldogs. That's your score tonight. We'll do a quick post game, and we'll be right back.
Hey, Will, world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for Colfax Boys Basketball. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Postgame, where we'll take a look back at today's Colfax Viking Boys game.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Time now for Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Boys game. And now, Viking Postgame.
Back here at Boyceville High School, your score tonight, Boyceville wins this one 61-49. We have Coaches for Cancer Night. There's a lot going on here. We got another game coming up right now. So we're going to say good night. For Jay Fall and Chris Holston, this is Dan Petchow. We will see you Monday night from Avery. Have a good night.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Boys game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.